august crowd out tonight. I want you to know that this is Dad's birthday, so in a way this is his birthday party. I can smell the food, so it must mean it's about time for us to start. We'll start our program tonight. I'll ask John Roy Jessup to come and offer a word of prayer. Whet your appetite for good food and good music. We'll start out with Zippity-Doo-Dah, the Vermilion Voice Quartet. Zipped away, and we'll just go on to the next number in the program. We'll have Shirley Jessup come and do a piano solo. And we'll have America by the El Capitan Singers.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Let music swell the breeze and ring from all the trees, sweet freedom song. Let mortal tongues away, let all that breathe While you are singing, carry your part. Keep a melody being green in your heart.
Musical Expressions has a group of songs that they'll now do for us.
The next song we've chosen is from the Will Rogers Follies, and it is kind of based on his own favorite phrase. This is what Will Rogers was known for. If we think of Will Rogers, you think of this phrase: "I've never met a man I didn't like." And Uncle Joe Barlow has always struck me the same kind of as that, because he kind of takes all of us under his wing. So we dedicate this song to Uncle Joe and wish him happy birthday too.
This event, as you well know, is put together for the Maxwell Park. This is a great project with a great vision. Many of us have heard David Zitting talk about the vision, and we've seen the drawings and the artist's concepts. We'd like to give David a few minutes to talk about this project and to tell you why you're here tonight.
I hope you're here to have a good time and have good food. And last night was sure a wonderful time. We had some excellent entertainment. And I'd like to welcome everybody here and thank you for coming and supporting what I think is a very good cause. We've got a park up the canyon that's been around for a lot of years, and a lot of people have put a lot of effort into it. But it's such a huge project that it seems that there's a lot more effort to put into it than we realize. We put 15,000, well, I'll go back a little bit from there. Last fall, Harold and I do want to thank Harold for the tremendous effort he's put in this. And we have Leroy Gilbert that's up there this year putting a lot of effort into it, along with a lot of other people. Of course, Dan Jessup, we always like to thank. He's just always on the job, trying to do anything that he can. Sure do appreciate that. And others. But last fall, or late summer last year, we knew we had a little bit of water that we could use there in Maxwell Park. And Harold and I were talking, and we says, why don't we try to get just a little bit of green around the horseshoe area, just to green it up a little bit, and see if we can do something to make it look a little better. And so we went to 2 sprinkler irrigation places in Salt Lake to get bids on what it would cost to put a sprinkler system. And one of them came through. And when we started looking at it, we said, well, they're going to design it for no cost, so let's have them just design everything we've excavated. And the first one came through, and it was such a high price for even a little bit of the sprinkler irrigation, what we hoped to do, but we didn't see any way that we could do anything last year. It was just much more money than we had any anticipation of even getting close to. And we waited for the second one to come through. And when that bid come through, we just about fell over. We couldn't believe what we were seeing. It was a better designed program. It was put together more professionally. And it was about 1/4 or 1/5 the cost of the first bid. And we just, to this day, we don't understand how that happened. But looking at it, we decided, why don't we just take a gamble and take our chances and order everything that they designed and see what happens. And we did. And we ended up paying for it. It ended up in the ground last fall and hooked up and ready to go. And so this year, and there's a lot more to the story, but I won't go into it all, but this year we tried to put a little bit of sod or turf up around the horseshoe pits. And we found a way that we could get 15,000 square feet. And we thought that would really do a lot and make it look like a lot of green. And we put that in, and it looked like it was about the size of somebody's living room. And it is such a huge place that I don't think people realize how big it is until you really get involved in it. You have those large cliffs around there and all that big panorama on all sides. And it makes the park look smaller than it really is. And you get working on it and get doing on it, and you start realizing it is much bigger than it looks. But this fundraising event that we're at tonight, hopefully, is going to pay for some things the remainder of this fall. And we're looking in about 2 to 3 weeks of hydro seeding 200,000 square feet of grass. What's being put in there now is 15,000, and we're hoping to hydro seed 200,000 square feet. And that will be seed that will have the fertilizer into it, the mulch into it. It'll be a very professional job. We'll have a hydro seeder coming to do that. It'll look green for maybe a few hours until the dye they put in it fades out. And then it'll start looking green in a week or two, and we hope to have grass next fall or next spring on a good part of that. Now, if what we did on the horseshoe pit, we anticipate to really look big, and now I'm saying this is going to really look big, I might be surprised again, but it'll look a lot bigger than what it does now. And if anybody's been up there, it's starting to look like, if you look around the horseshoe pit, and some of the things that are happening, it's starting to look like it can look. And we have a big area there that we hope can be very beautiful in the near future. There's still a lot of work to do. What we have excavated is about 12 acres. If you look at the entrance area, the baseball field, the horseshoe area up here, the picnic site, and the upper field that we excavated above the playground area, it's about 12 acres. The park is 70 acres. And there's more that can be expanded from there if we wanted to and needed to. So it's a very big project and has a lot of potential, and there's a lot of hope directed that way. And we've had moments of, you might say, despair and disappointment, and things have just sat there and nothing's happened for quite a period of time, and then something picks up and it goes a little bit further. We hope it keeps doing that. So again, thank you very much, and happy birthday to Joe.
Maybe this would be a good time to sing happy birthday to Uncle Joe. Moroni, can you come and do the honors on the piano? Dad, why don't you step up here in the light where we can look at you?
Thank you all, and it is one of the happiest birthdays I've ever had in my whole life. And as I greeted each one of my kids, I told them something that I want to tell you, and that is that they made it possible. By being as good a kids as they are and doing the good things that they do, that's what made it possible for me. And I have a poem I'd like to read. I haven't memorized it, but it tells how I feel, so I'd like to read it at this time. And it's called Wealth. I hope you'll forgive me because I feel so tender about some of these things. Here in my heart is all the gold that I shall ever own. Here are the memories of old, the friends that I have known. A faded rose, a baby's shoe, many a smile, a tear or two, the wealth that never will depart. I have it here in my heart. Here in my heart are fields and farms I never can forget. Here in my heart, my mother's arms, it seems surround me yet. Yes, still I have the comfort of a father's counsel, father's love. Oh, what is fame or wealth or art with things like these here in my heart? Here in my heart I live again the days of long ago, and life is just as sweet as then, and all its joys I know. I walk again beside the stream, a glance, a smile, a kiss, a dream. Though loves may wane and souls may part, I have them all here in my heart. Here in my heart I sit alone and count my riches o'er. All of the joy that I have known is mine forevermore. Here in my heart is all the gold that all earth's treasuries could hold. The wealth that never will depart. I have it here in my heart. I don't know how I could have a happier or a better birthday with all of my favorite people around me. Each one of my children are my favorite child, and each one of you are my favorite friend. And may the Lord bless us. May we do these wonderful times together, and may they be forever and go beyond this life and on into the eternities. This is my desire. What a grand and wonderful privilege it is to have a prophet among us that we can look to and receive the revelations of God from. We can do the wonderful things that we do and have the wonderful things that we have. May the Lord bless each and every one of you for all that you've done for me to make the gold that's here in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting this wonderful occasion. Now, as we move on through the program, so that we can coordinate a little better, we'll do like we're doing when we're playing baseball. We'll announce who's on deck, so they can get in the dugout and get ready for their part. Right now, we'll have the Vermilion Voice Quartet come out and do Zippity-Doo-Dah. This time they're really going to do it.
You dream about when you open up your mouth. A song pops out. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, my oh my wonderful day. Plenty of sun sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual, oh boy, everything is satisfaction. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, wonderful feeling, wonderful day. Mr. Blue, this is just the kind of day that you dream about. When you open up your mouth, the song pops out. It's the truth, it's the truth, it's actual, everything is satisfaction. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, wonderful feeling, wonderful day.
Before we sing this next song, then, how many here, by show of hands, how many here have been up to Maxwell Park? Good. Good. That's good, because I couldn't imagine this many people coming here and not knowing what they donated to.
Oh, shine on me in the morning, shine on me. Will the light in the lighthouse shine on me, shine on me in the evening, shine on me. I wonder if the lighthouse will shine on me. Will the light in the lighthouse shine on me?
After all that, I forgot to announce who was on deck. The Sunshiners are pretty good at adjusting. And after them, we want Lucy and Linus to get in the dugout.
Be the pillars of the nation.
Let's get the Vermilion Voice Quartet in the dugout while Lucy and Linus tell us some little-known facts.
Hi, Linus. Hi, Charlie Brown. Lucy's teaching me, Charlie Brown. She says an older sister is responsible for the education of her younger brother. So she's teaching me. Boy, is she intelligent.
Really? Come along, Linus. Do you see that tree? That is a fir tree. It's called a fir tree because it gives us fur for coats. It also gives us wool in the wintertime.
Wow, that's amazing. I never knew that before. That is very interesting.
This is an elm tree. It's very little, but it will grow up into a giant tree. An oak, you can tell how old it is by counting its leaves.
Wow, that's amazing.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I don't think you
And way up there, those fluffy little white things, those are clouds. They make the wind blow. And way down there, those tiny little black things, those are bugs. They make the grass grow.
That's so.
That's right. They run around all day long, tugging and tugging in each tiny seedling until it grows into a tall blade of grass.
Good grief.
This is a hydrant. They grow all over. And this thing here, this is a hydrant. They grow all over, and no one seems to know just how a little thing like that gives so much water. You see that bird? That is an eagle. But since it's little, it has another name, a sparrow. On Christmas and Thanksgiving we eat them.
Now, Lucy, how can you say that? I'm sorry. I just can't stand. I defy the message you're
And way up there, the little stars and planets make the rain that falls in showers. And when it's cold and winter is upon us, the snow comes up. Just like the flowers.
Now, Lucy, I know that's wrong. Snow comes down. My mom said.
And after it comes up, the wind blows it all around, so it looks like it's coming down, but it actually comes up out of the ground like the grass. Snow comes up, Charlie Brown. Snow comes
Good
up.
grief. Lucy, why is Charlie Brown banging his head on the tree?
To loosen up the bark to make the tree grow faster. Come along, Linus.
I'm sure there's an ugly duckling running around here somewhere. We'll hear from her after we hear from the Vermilion Voice Quartet.
Practicing in the restroom.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, Uncle Joe. Happy birthday to you. Many birthdays to you, many birthdays to you, many birthdays, Uncle Joe. Many birthdays. Sweet Adeline, sweet Adeline, my Adeline, my Adeline. At night, dear heart, at night, dear heart, of you I find, of you I find, in all my dreams, in all my dreams, your fair face beams, your fair face beams. You're the flower of my heart, sweet Adeline, sweet Adeline. You're the flower of my heart, sweet Adeline, my Adeline. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you away, away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you away, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Shenandoah, I love your daughter. Away, you rolling river. My love will last as does the water. Away, away, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Farewell, my love, I'm bound to leave you. Away, away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you. Away, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Across the wide Missouri.
We'll get the Sunshiners in the dugout for a little contrast. Where's that ugly duckling? She's here somewhere.
I've always liked this song because it's kind of been the way it is with my life, getting to know people. It's never what you get on the first impression.
There once was an ugly duckling with feathers all stubby and brown, and the other birds in so many words said, "Get out of town!" Said, "Get out, get out, get out of town!" So he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack,
and a very unhappy frown. Little old ugly duckling went wandering far and near, but at every place they said to his face, "Now get out of here." Said, "Get out, get out, get out of here." So he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a very unhappy tear. All through the winter time he hid himself away, ashamed to show his face, afraid of what others might say. All through the winter in his lonely clump of weed, till a flock of swans spied him there, and they very soon agreed, "You're a very fine swan indeed." Me? A swan? Go on. You're a swan. Look at yourself in the lake, and you'll see. So he looked, and he saw, and he said, "Why, it's me! I am a swan! Whee! I'm not such an ugly duckling with feathers all stubby and brown. In fact, these birds in so many words said the best in town. Said the best in town. Not a quack, not a quack, not a waddle nor a quack, but a glide and a glide and a snowy white back, and a head so noble and high. Say, who's an ugly duckling? Not I. Not I.
Odie and Carson will already be in the dugout. They'll be on stage. Let's have the Sunshiners come up and contrast the ugly duckling a little. They'll do Sweet and Lovely.
Last night alone on our way home, you turned and said to me, "I love you so, and I want to know what you think about me." Sweet
send a delegation over there to feed Joe Jr.'s kids in a minute. I was reading in a little book that Dad had, and it reminded me of what Professor Cloward told me when I was going to school up at SUU. And he said that the left brain controls the right side of the body, and the right brain controls the left side of the body. And I thought about that, and I wondered if that means that only the people that are left-handed are in their right mind. I don't know. Judge for yourself. This is the Modi and Carson show. Modi's left-handed.
You know, before we get going, I got to get that down pat, Cassie. How's that go? Where'd it go? Oh yeah. We got to have 6 recruits. 9. We need 9 volunteers. Nobody's got to hold up the posters or we can't get on track. Come on up, 9.
Yeah, I can think of volunteering.
Oh, that's enough.
Better than that.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now.
We're all short. Just stand on one. Oh, come back here. Okay, what we did is we came up with the ultimate tongue twister.
I think I'm on the wrong program. Oh.
Arkansas. I went to Arkansas.
So what about Arkansas? What about it?
Let's see you beat that one.
Arkansas. Anybody can say Arkansas.
Louder.
That doesn't say look. That says saw.
So you were in Arkansas.
I could be yours. I went to Arkansas and I saw.
You were in Arkansas and you saw.
Now, if you was in Arkansas, you saw.
When I was in Arkansas, I saw a saw. If you guys can't read these words, I'll tell you what it says. Saw. When I was in Arkansas, I saw a saw. Now, if you saw a saw,
Saw. Saw. Now, this is not the same saw that is over there. This saw is doing the sawing. It doesn't show it going back and forth, but it's still sawing. See the sawdust? So the saw. When I was in Arkansas, I saw.
when you were in Arkansas, you saw a saw.
Saw.
Well, when I was in Arkansas, I saw.
Sawed.
This right here
Grass.
is grass. This is dirt. Dirt. So when I was in Arkansas, Arkansas, I saw, And if you saw, but you saw more saws than the saw I saw, I'd like to see the saw you saw.
You was in Arkansas. Now I gotta get this straight. This is Arkansas. You saw.
And it could saw
And it
more
could saw more saw than any saw you ever saw.
Saw.
I don't know what I'm talking about. In Arkansas, you saw. In Arkansas, you saw. If you saw the saw, I saw. I'd like to see the saw you saw. Well, when I was in Arkansas, I saw a guy saw. He was using the saw. This guy from Arkansas. And when I was in Arkansas, you come over here. You're going to hold this up, this guy from Arkansas. You guys got to move down. We're going to fix this good. You'll never beat this one.
When you were in Arkansas,
I saw a guy. Okay, you got to move. Right here. I saw an Arkansas. No, he was sawed. He was sawed. No, he was sawed with a saw. Okay, now let's see. When I was in Arkansas, I saw an Arkansas sawed with a sawed saw. Not the sawed saw. Okay. When I was in Arkansas, I saw an Arkansas sawed with a sawed saw.
Okay, I can beat that.
You don't run out of posters.
This is from Arkansas. Okay, you hold this one with the sod, and that makes
Just hold them
that
together.
Arkansas sod. So when I was in Arkansas, I saw a guy. I saw an Arkansas sod with a sod saw, and he could saw more sod with his sod saw than any saw I ever saw sod with a sod saw. Arkansas sod with a sod
Hey,
saw with a saw more.
just a minute. Whoa. What's with the boots?
That's just in case it gets too deep.
When you was in Arkansas, you saw an Arkansas sod with a sod saw.
And he could saw more saws with his sod saw than any Arkansas I ever saw sod with a sod saw.
Well, I Arkansas in there. Other dude from Arkansas. Now, okay,
What's
here.
that other dude gonna do?
When I was in Arkansas, I saw an Arkansas.
He saw an Arkansas.
You come over here, right? Here. You guys move down. Okay. When I was in Arkansas, I saw an Arkansas who saw an Arkansas sod with an Arkansas saw.
There's an Arkansas saw.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I got it. That's it.
Hold it up high. Hold it up high. Seesaw.
Right. Okay, when I was in Arkansas, I saw an Arkansas who saw an Arkansas saw with the sod saw, and they were on a seesaw. And besides that, while they were on the seesaw, they were seesawing.
They were seesawing?
That's right. Now, if you ever saw an Arkansas saw with
Let's see if I can get straight. Went to Arkansas, saw an Arkansas sod with a sod saw on a seesaw. It was seesaw with
he was
teeter
seesawing
totter.
while he was Now, let's see you beat that one.
Okay, seesaw. Okay, let's see if I can say it. This is in Arkansas. I saw an Arkansas. We saw an Arkansas sod
with a saw, on a seesaw with a seesaw. No one was on a seesaw. He was sawing it with a seesaw, but he was seesawing a seesaw while he was seesawing on a seesaw.
Was it she saw, he saw on a seesaw?
I got this one. I got nothing. I saw, he saw, just in case. Practice both saw. I saw, he saw me. He saw me. She saw, I saw, he saw. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Wait a minute, I got one more. We can name this guy Art. So he's from Arkansas. So Arkansas and Arkansas. We can do that. You guys want to hear some words?
Arkansas, rubber baby buggy bumper. Let's go. Out of here.
Dad, do you still have that book? I'll bet you could beat Modi and Carson.
I can't beat him. Too big for me.
Good. I remember when you did.
This is one I thought I'd read if they asked me to tonight. A young fellow came rushing into the genealogical research offices requesting to see the chief genealogist right away. "What's the problem?" inquired the researcher. "Well, I'm working on our family charts," he pleaded, "and it's driving me half crazy. Nobody's ever so mixed up. I need help, and I need it desperately." "Let's see what you have written there," responded the sympathetic genealogist. This is what he read. "Well, I met a young widow with a grown-up stepdaughter, and I married the widow. And then my father married our stepdaughter, and that made my wife the mother-in-law of her father-in-law, and made my stepdaughter my stepmother, and my father became my stepson. And then my stepmother, the stepdaughter of my wife, had a son. And that child was my brother, as he was the son of my father. But he was also the son of my wife's stepdaughter, and therefore her grandson. And then my wife had a son, and my nephew, and my father's brother-in-law. The stepsister of my son is also his grandmother, because he is her stepson's child. My father is the brother-in-law of my child, because the stepsister is my father's wife. And I'm the brother of my own son, who is also the child of my grandmother. So I am my mother's son-in-law, my wife's child's uncle, my son is my father's brother, and I'm my own grandpa." Now let's see you put that down in the family group sheet.
How about it, Carson and Marshall? Are you guys out there in the moonshine still?
carry me home.
That's way. I'll be the pitching.
Figured it out last night.
Carry me home. I looked over Jordan and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. If y'all get there before I do, coming for to carry me home. Save me some roast beef from the pit barbecue. Coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I sometimes up and I sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. If I don't quit eating that roast beef, I'll stay big and round, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. The brightest day that ever I saw, coming for to carry me home, is when I went some watermelon in my craw, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Everybody, come on, everybody, come on over. That again, now everybody, we need all the shoe shiner, moonshiners. We don't do it tonight, though. How does that thing work? I ain't gonna play that thing, man. I couldn't play it last time.
anyway? Having a party. We having a party? Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, Joe, he didn't give us a party, didn't he? Yeah. But then there's Richard, he gone home early. But he all got the key to the house. And we all got to knock on the door, see if we can get in. Yeah. Knock on the door. Open the door, Richard.
Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door?
You see, Richard, he thinks in the back room. He's the heart. Maybe you better knock a little louder. Yeah, knock a little louder. I know. Open the door, Richard.
Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door?
Now, Richard, my boy, he is a cool cat. But when he sleeps, he dies.
I don't think Richard heard me yet. Talk a little louder.
Me? Yeah.
Talk loud. Hey, Nick, open the door, man.
Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door?
Richard, open the door, man. It's kind of cold out here in this air. Now, look, there's that old woman across the street looking out through the window.
Who's that widow, sweet? Who's that?
That must be a sister, I guess. She wants to make sure this there me. She's trying to find out what's happening. Yeah, it's me, and I'm late again.
Sweet, did you all hear what the lady done said?
No, what did she say?
Yo, let's see, right here. You, me, we, she done said we all sure look common out in the street.
Common? Why, I got class I ain't never used yet.
Come on, man, we all gotta get in there. I'm gonna knock again, man. This time Richard's gonna get up. And that's what it is right there. Open the door, Richard.
Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door?
Hey, man, you all got a key in the house? I'm tired now. I ain't got a key in the house. I ain't got a key. Well, somebody got to get in there. We all can't climb in the transit. I know he's in there. I know he's in there. How do you all know he's in there? Because I all can hear him breathing.
Ooh, let's knock one more time.
You know, man, I'm tired of it. Open the door, man. Maybe Richard come home.
Open the door, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Richard, why don't you open that door?
You sure he didn't put on his clothes and go to the party?
I'm here. I know he didn't go to the party. We all ain't. I got something on his suit, man. We ain't got but one suit between us. That's the reason why I don't like the room with nobody. Hey, Nick, open the door. Open the door, man. What's the door, man?
Oh, Richard. Open the door and let me in. Open the door, Richard. Now, Richard, why don't you open that door?
I'm
going home. Yeah, forget the bar. Forget the bar. Yeah, let's go to Clyde.
All kinds of characters here to entertain you tonight. I think there's some pirates in the crowd. There they are.
Man on a dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
You're sailing with Long John, Blackbeard, Breakleg, Cutjar, Hook, the scourge of the Vale Main. Yay! The unreal, bloodthirsty, black-hearted pirates have never to sail the seven seas. Ha ha! Yay! What say ye? Why, hoist the Jolly Roger. Yield over yonder Spanish galleon. Lay a few broadside again their tippers. Swing over there on these here lanyards with our cutlasses in our teeth. Slash them to ribbons and split the mooney. What say ye, eh? Yay!
Don't like it.
You don't like it?
Don't like it, and I don't want to do it. It's tacky. Don't look at me that way.
Well, if you don't want it, what do you want?
I want to sing and dance. I want to sing and dance. The pirates of the dance when we silver buckles like shiny pants. I want to sing and dance.
You want to sing and dance? Oh. You don't like no plundering, eh?
I don't like it.
Shiver me timbers. How about treasuring? Rubies and emeralds and pearls and gold doubloons, pretty sovereigns, silver chalices are crested with diamonds and jewels, necklaces and bracelets of every shape and size, bits of the crown heads of Europe, and all buried in a pirate chest and oil. Yay! Just happen to know where. How about that, you bloodthirsty lobos?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it, and I don't want to do it. I'm an artiste.
Well, Mr. Artiste. What do you want?
I want to sing it, and I want to sing it.
There he goes.
I want to be a pirate in a pirate of the dance. Where we sail with the slippers and we got the shiny pants. I want to sing it.
No! Listen here. This ain't no floating gimmick and toilet show. As I'm flitting Tinkerbell, this here be a black-hearted pirate ship. Sure. And I would have had you killed already if you weren't me own flesh and blood, you little twit. So you don't want no plundering, eh?
Don't like it.
And you don't want no treasuring, eh?
Don't want it.
And you probably don't want no rabbling and robbing and robbing either, I suppose.
Well, you want to know the truth?
I do. Tell me the truth.
It's just not me. I don't like it.
Well, if you don't like it, what do you want? As if I already don't believe it.
I want to sing and dance.
I know. And where's your tight little shiny pants? Okay. We'll all sing and dance. No! I said we'll all sing and dance. Yeah. Oh, what? You want the plate? 1, 2, 3. I want to sing and dance. I want to sing and dance. I want to be a pirate in the bottom of the sack, wearing silver ruffle slippers and behind shiny pants. I want to sing and dance. I like it. I rather like the mule sail. 16 waiting on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho, when the bottle of rum. Yes, right, rum. Am I to understand? Am I to understand that you don't like rum? Am I like little Perrier? Timbers, who? Am I not on board here? Am I like little Perrier with a lime? A little Perrier with a lime. He wants to lime in it. What's the soup today? Soup? Have you got any escargot? Escargot? What? How about a salad? How about a bleeding finger bottle? Regardless of something, but I'm never a friend to make everything so hard. You better get away from me, boy, before I hang over the rail. Oh.
I'm about fed up with this place. Dad, do you want to come back up for just a minute?
We want to recognize all the people that have helped. I had Joanne write this list, and if there's any of the hot and cold running maids that we miss, why, come and see me and I'll kiss them on the cheek. These are the ones that have helped, and we sure do appreciate it. Wendy Holm, Joanne, Mary Ellen, Jennifer, Jean Johnson, Billy, Mabel, Joy, Deidre, Hillary, Brianna Meldrum, Eliza and Martha Darger, Kenneth, Laura Marie Richter, Roy Holm, Davy and Josh Barlow, Laverne, Audra, Carol, Virginia, Rosie, Jolene, Abby, Marion, Lenora. Oh, wait a minute. They're not Barlows. Barlow. Lenora and Ruth Cook, Margaret Musser, Janelle and Julia Fisher, Amanda Knudsen, Allison Knudsen, Monica, Maria, Martha, Lisa, Sadie, Belate, Louise, and Jennifer Jessup. And we want to make special mention of Tyler and Allison, who have really helped a lot. Christopher Johnson. We want to also make special mention of Aunt Alice and Teresa and Laura and Millie and Ethel Cook and all of the rest that have helped behind the scenes. They've really done a bang-up good job, and Edmund told me that we had 164 people seated here tonight at one time, and we really do appreciate it. The project up in the park is a beautiful thing to do. I had the opportunity of talking with our representative, Jim Yardley, the other day, and I drove him up there and showed him this park, he and his wife, and they were really quite overwhelmed with the setting. And I don't know of any more beautiful postcard setting than that Maxwell Park is, just in the morning when the sun's coming up. the hills in the foreground are dark, and that big El Capitan is lit up by the sunlight. It's almost like a big brick of gold up there, and that's really a beautiful setting. So I really do want to express my gratitude for all of your friendship. I want to make special mention of Harold Piney and Uncle Joe Jessup and Dan Jessup and Moroni and a lot of them who have really helped. If there's anybody we've left out, why, we apologize for that, but we sure do appreciate it. And we're glad that you came here tonight, and hope you got enough to eat. If you didn't, why, you can come back next year and we'll do it again. Thank you.
We'll close our entertainment tonight with the Sunshiners, O Home Beloved.
Oh, home beloved, where'er I wander, on board land or distant sea, as time rolls by, my heart grows fonder, and yearns more lovingly for thee. Though fair be nature's scenes around me, and friends are ever kind and true, though joyous mirth and song surround me, my heart, my soul still yearns for you. The flowers around me may be fairer than those that bloom upon the hills. The streams, great mighty treasure bearers, more knows it may be than thy rills. The world renowned my humble village, like these great towns may proudly claim, yet my fond heart doth thrill with rapture whene'er I hear thy humble name. Ye valleys and mountains, ye peaceful hamlets mid the trees, ye murmuring streams and crystal fountains, kissed by the cool soft balmy breeze. Words cannot tell how well I love thee, nor speak my longing when I roam. My heart alone can cry to heaven, God bless my own dear mountain home.
We'll ask Uncle Dan Jessup to come up and leave his blessing on this occasion. Thank you for coming.
kind and gracious Father.